everyone, welcome to another show, Dirty Talk Tasmania. Tonight we've got he's here every week with us now, Mr. Alan Rock. Welcome, Rocky.
Sorry about that, and big apologies to members of the Stevie Wonder fan club. When I said Stevie Wonder could see that, I meant no disrespect to Stevie. He's an amazing talent, and people get upset about the littlest things these days, don't they?
Yeah, I know, it's amazing. Like the other week it was the vegan community, now it's Stevie Wonder. So who's it going to be next week, mate?
Oh, look. Their concerns have not fallen on deaf ears. I'll make sure that this, is taken on board and looked after appropriately.
Excellent, mate. Love your style. What a meeting we had on the weekend, Rocky.
Oh, wasn't it? The weather turned it on.
Yeah, it did.
It was hot as a stolen stereo, and the action was even hotter. Like, it started off early in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, with the karts. Timmy Orton won the seniors.
Yep.
James Dillon won the 125s. In the juniors, Jack Redpath from Phoebe Roberts. Now, Phoebe, remember, only started racing, I think it was last year, maybe just towards the tail end of the season before,
Yep.
really coming along in leaps and bounds. And she also set quick time in the junior Formula 500s. And then third was Hugh Beeching, running the number 14, made famous by his dad and his grandfather.
Yep.
So I'm looking for some big things out of Hugh towards the future, because put in one hell of a drive, because the junior karts, and that's a fantastic stepping stone to the feature. But the big story of the night, AMCAs.
Yeah.
Adrian Bassett last year went undefeated.
Yep.
At the weekend, Nick Taylor. Wow, what a dominant drive from Nick. Adrian was able to catch him up in traffic a few times, but never ever looked like he was going to put in an effective passing move. He popped the nose forward and tried, but Nick was just too strong. And in third place, Kyle Bogorski, rookie in that class.
Yep.
A great drive from him. And the first of the 253s home, so well done to him.
Yeah, no, it was
Formula
definitely
500, the girls just continuing the charge. Bianca Hayes this week. She took home the victory spoils. Callum Roberts came home in second. Jacob Lind in third. Maggie McKendrick and Jess Burr sadly ended up upside down on the front straight. So
Yep.
a couple of rollovers and a few other incidents in Formula 500s. Sprint cars. Wow.
Yeah, that was big.
That was a brawl with the wall for Nick Penno. Couldn't quite see it from the commentary box, but I just heard the crowd and saw the shower of sparks. I poked my head towards the glass and could see what was left of Penno's car going over. It was massive. I believe you caught it on the Tas Auto Shots camera.
Yeah, I did catch it on the camera, and it was a big lick. And I was talking to Nick afterwards, and he said it hurt. It was a big, hard hit. Like, he was okay for everyone out there. He was fine. Like, he was all good. But he said it was a hard hit, so he definitely felt it. But car sustained a little bit of damage. I seen it in the pits afterwards. But it looked more cosmetic. But as Nick said, you don't know whether the chassis is bent until you start pulling things off them. So fingers crossed the car's in good nick, because we haven't got a lot of cars this year in Tassie with the sprint cars, so we don't really want to lose anyone. But yeah, fingers crossed that the car's okay and Nick's feeling good at this stage in time.
No, exactly right. Those rollovers, you always end up with a couple of harness bruises, whether you like it or not.
Yep.
Part and parcel of tipping a sprint car over.
Yep.
But big kudos to Adam Garwood from Tony Glasner and Adam Alexander. They took home the spoils. Now, I remember quite a few years ago where sprint cars only had 5 and 6, and they went through a rebuilding phase.
Yep.
And they bounced back stronger than ever. So I'm pretty sure the club will work overtime, as we've seen so many other clubs do when their numbers drop. It's only a couple of seasons ago we had 4 and 5 super sedans running around. Now for the coming weekend, I think they've got over 15 entries.
Yeah, we've got a few.
Yeah, the Streeties. Wow, how good are those things?
Yeah, they're crazy at the moment.
Yeah, brought it home from Jaden Russell. Nigel Apted lived up to his old antics, blew the doors off it.
Yep. He doesn't hold back, Nigel, does he? He's all in or not in at all. There's no if, buts or whys with Nigel. He's a great bloke and actually a hard racer.
Oh, 100%. He only knows it's bin it or win it.
Yeah.
And he came home in third with a bent steering rack.
Yeah, righto. Yep. I didn't realise that, but that's an achievement in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, he was sort of hoping to get up a little bit further and challenge, but wasn't to be. And then, of course, in the wingless, Jeremy Smith brought it home from Cooper Wilson and Luke Redpath, the wingless, every week, turn on good racing. You know, we've just so many solid categories at the moment.
Yeah, Cooper Wilson, honestly, he'd be the most unluckiest wingless driver at the moment. He's finished second so many times to Jeremy. I think he'd be getting sick of it. So we hope he gets one over Jeremy soon. Of course, Jeremy won't want that. But, yeah, young Cooper, he's a great young kid and a great talent. And we hope he gets a win here shortly because he's finished second a fair few times to Jeremy. And, he needs to get up there and get a win because I reckon he's a great young kid.
He certainly is a great young kid. He's got plenty of car speed, and he just needs those the chips to fall in the right order, and he'll be fine.
Yep. And in the late models, Callum Harper, as sick as he was, I spoke to Callum in the pits. Sick as a dog he was, poor bugger. I spoke to him after the first heat, and he said, "Oh, you sure that wasn't 15 laps?" He said, "Because I'm knackered." Like, he was absolutely sick as on the weekend, and for him to go out there and haul that late model around like he was, I was surprised the lap record didn't go Saturday night. He was really on the point with that late model.
Well, it certainly was, and it was a fast track. Ellis Dickinson tried to chase him down, but he got the hard charge reward. But in the end, he was well back from Callum. Callum just in that next league. And the good thing about that is everybody else is now trying to lift their game and come up to his level, and that just brings the whole sport up, which is fantastic. And then in third place was Josh Padman. Wade Cleary, who appeared with us last week, he just said to us, he said it on the podcast, I'm just going to wobble around at the back, get a feel for it. Well, he certainly got a feel for it in the second heat because he won it.
Yeah, he definitely was on ball. He didn't take it easy for very long. Like he said, he was just going to go out there and take it easy, but we all know Wade, and Wade's got no other way but flat to the boards, and yeah, she's on a roll. Like, it was good to see him out there. Had a few mechanical issues, had a bit of an oil leak in one of the heats, and then power steering went in another in the final, I think. Oh, was it final?
Yeah.
Second heat, final. Power steering went in the final, so he didn't finish, but you know, good signs there for the crew and the team in there.
Yeah, certainly. And as you said, he only knows one position of that throttle, and that's have it pushed down onto the alloy floor as far as it'll go. A bit like our guest tonight.
Yes.
Back in Dion's racing days, he wasn't frightened to go on maximum attack. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Sensational.
That's the way. Thanks for having me on the show.
Great to have you on, Dion.
No worries.
We've been planning it for a couple of weeks, and how's the Tassie Sixers looking, mate? Numbers have been down the last two meetings, but we're expecting them to come back soon.
I'm hoping that we're going to have enough for Carrick. I've done a bit of a ring around, and I'm pretty sure we'll have enough to have a field for the 15th. Just on Rocky's words there earlier about sprint cars, I think we're going through a bit of a rebuilding phase. Like it's, things and money and the way the economy is lately, it's just a bit hard to field a car out on the track at the moment for a lot of the guys and girls, and a lot of them are sort of having some time off, and like a couple of them are moving up to probably different divisions, I think, and it's I think it's just the money, mate. That's the biggest problem with the division. Like it's a great division to get into, really is.
It certainly is. It's affordable. It's fast. The camaraderie is fantastic. And these are great cars to drive.
They are, mate. They're really great to drive. And the machinery that we've got and the presentation of the guys and girls that they bring them out is outstanding. Like, and it's a shame we've missed the first couple of meetings, but I think I think we're going to do all right on the 15th. I think we're going to field. It won't be a big field, but at least if we can get 8 cars and get ourselves on the board and get some runs on the board, we'll be right, I reckon.
And well, for all, sorry, Rocky, and for all the people out there that, we've probably got some mainland people watching this show, what's a Tassie 6, mate? Because it's not a national division, it's only a Tasmanian division. So to just fill us in what a Tassie 6 is.
Yeah, Tassie 6 is sort of like, we sort of say like a mini version of a super sedan.
Yeah, right.
Basically, we're a full rail chassis. We can run quick change diffs. We run road radial tyres. We run 6-cylinder engines, a 250 cubic inch, minimum of 250 cubic inch. We run 350 Hollies. And basically, you can nearly we've had one of our competitors put their Tassie 6 straight into a super sedan. So that's how close they are to running up with the supers.
And actually, that person was Harley Croft, and he ran the 6-cylinder in with the V8s of the Super Sedans, and actually did quite well.
Yes, he was no slouch, that's for sure. It was very, very good to see, actually, just to sort of show that guys that we can put cars up in there and they do go all right.
Yeah. Now, of course, we've
Years
got...
ago, we used to have 6-cylinder Super Sedans in with the V8s. So, it's quite an easy changeover, isn't it? Just bolt on some rake rubber.
Yeah. It's just, I'm pretty sure, I don't think Harley done too much to put his in there. His was a Super Sedan to start with, and he brought it back to a Tassie 6. So it was pretty much like you said, Rob, just bolt some race rubber on, go race, I think. And very, very good to see. And like I say, he didn't put himself to shame, that's for sure. Like it was, I think he finished third in one heat there up at Carrick one night in it, I think. So
Bang for the buck, it just makes sense. The 6-shooters, the Tassie 6s, whatever you want to call them, they're always good value, aren't they?
They are, mate, they are. It's just, like I say, it's just the cost of things at the parts and the cost of living and things like that. And it just makes it hard for guys and girls to get up the road or down the road, to do a show. So we've just done a few things different this year. I took over the rep job for the Tassie 6s, and we've just sort of tried to make it a little bit easier to try and get the competitors to travel up the road if we can to sort of these meetings. So
you've got a big meeting plan this year at Carrick, Dion. Fill us in all about it.
Yes, we do. Since I took over the rep job, my first job was to do the contracts for Carrick and Latrobe, and I got straight on the phone to Steve at Cranes Combined Carrick Speedway, and we come to an agreement that we was only on the one night on the 7th of March, and he give us an extra night on the 6th of March, and that's the Carrick Royale, and we've turned that into a big show. We're doing a 40-lap feature, which has never been done before for the Tassie 6s.
Yeah, right.
We've rallied around, and we're doing a 50-lap, or it's $100 lap to sponsor, so $50 of that goes into every lap led, and $50 of that goes back into your prize money. So if you win from start to finish, that's $2,000. That's a lot of money for a Tassie class. So it's a real lot of money. And we're having a gold, silver, bronze shootout. So basically, and then the kicker of that is the winner of that gets probably a little check and everything else. But the kicker of that is we're going to bring some kids out from the audience, and we're going to bring them out, and we're going to do a cork draw.
Yeah, right.
And we're going to get the kids involved, and we're going to do a cork draw. So the top 10 will be decided by the kids.
Yeah,
so if you win the poll, you could end up back in 10.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And good to see Carrick Speedway getting behind it all.
Yeah, I can't thank Steve and the guys at Carrick Speedway enough for coming on board with this, and I think we're going to get the cars for it. And good thing about it is, Jamie, it's like you said, Clayton View's going to be there that weekend, so it's going to put Tassie 6s right on the map. So, and it's going to be a really big race for them, and it's it's something that's never been done for the division in history of the division. Like, I've got a lot of people saying, I don't know whether McCarr will last 40 laps or not. So, but we'll soon find out.
There is one way to find out, and that's
right.
Take the green flag.
Yeah. So we've got a few good things coming up. Like the 22nd of November, we've got a memorial race for young Will Lockwood, which was a great young competitor for the Tassie 6s and the junior sedans. Sadly passed away in early January, I think. So we're doing a 22-lap feature race for him, which is his car number, 22 laps. And I'd like to thank his family for coming on board with, for trophies and things like that for Will. It's just sort of something we'd like to do. We put together for him. And then on the 28th of March, we've also got the Ricky Briggs Memorial as well. So we were sort of pretty flat out from February right through to March at Carrick. Anyway, we've got sewn up there, but yeah.
And
so that's what we've got planned.
And the daughter, Dion, when's she coming out?
If I can kick her ass, mate, hopefully the 15th of Carrick. 15th of Carrick. Yeah, if I can get her moving, mate, no, she'll be right. I think she'll be 15th. We're looking pretty good, I think,
Yeah.
Just got a couple of them.
And
she's got fans in the stands, and she's always been a smooth operator behind the wheel, very fast.
Yeah, no, Tiff's pretty good, really proud of her achievements, and Felicity also, like she does the flags at all speedways, all tracks and everything, really proud of both the girls. They do a great job and they put in a lot. Like I say, I took over the job from Tiff this year of state rep. It was just sort of too much for her to concentrate on the racing and do the job as well. So, and if she concentrates more on the racing and everything, we've sort of improved. We've got a new engine in that this year, so that won't go until December. So we'll see how that goes, and then we should be sort of thereabouts, hopefully.
So what's the car count like this year, Dion? How many cars do we have registered in the state?
Well, I believe there was 5 or 6 that got registered in Hobart on practice day.
Yep.
I know there's a couple up in Launceston. We're gained a new competitor in up here in the state. He used to race Super Sedans, young Ethan Cole.
Yep.
He's coming out into a Tassie 6.
Yep.
Nice.
May not make the 15th, but they're looking at the 22nd. They've got the car. So hopefully, without what I don't know that's been registered in the last couple of weeks, we're looking at probably, from what I can gather, there's probably about 20 odd cars in the state. But,
yeah, right. That's good numbers.
But it's getting them all to the track and things like that. You know, like I say, a couple of people have got commitments during the work commitments, and some do FIFO work and things like that. It's get them to the track all at once. That's the problem. But if we can, you've got to crawl before you can walk. So if we can get 8 cars to Carrick and then build on that, I think we're going to get a good one down at Hobart on the 22nd.
Yep.
And then we've just got to get them to venture up the track here to Latrobe to support the guys up here.
Yep.
Well, that's always been one of the things. Once the season starts, it really is a big impetus for a lot of people to get off their backsides and make sure they do get trackside.
Yeah, that's right. And it's like I say, we've just tried a couple of things different. We've got a little bit more towage money for them to come up the road. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit more.
Yep.
And I've spoke to a couple of the competitors like Tiff and Shanae Williams and things like that. They're quite happy to give up their towage money to help the guys from down south, to come up and do some racing to support them up here. Yep. And that's the thing. If it's not going to be a lot, but if we can sort of help them out to get up the road, well, let's try things to get them up the road, or down the road, whichever it seems to be, just to keep the numbers up. And yeah, because it's like Rory said, it's died off to a rebuilding phase, I think. And it's once we had this a few years ago, we were down 5 or 6 cars, and then we come out with 20 odd, like it's just. Yep. And then we stayed at that for a while, and then when things got a little bit expensive and parts got a little bit dear, it sort of put a few people on the back burner.
I think that's the same for every division, though. They all start out reasonably slow before Christmas, and then once Christmas comes, everyone's out, aren't they? Like it seems to happen every single year. Yeah,
it's not just Tassie Sixes. It's it's a lot of others too. It's like production to Carrick. They fielded 6 cars. They had 8 nominated, but I do believe they got a field of up. Once they get them all going, they're going to have a field of up to about 20.
Yeah.
So it's just slowly but surely. I think we can, and hopefully this race I've got at Carrick can, get a few of them out and get going. Like I say, we've got from sort of February 7th, which is our state title at Carrick. We're sort of pretty much booked out right through to Carrick with all big events. Yep. So which is pretty good.
Is Mr. Johnny Miles and Nathaniel McAwaite, are they coming back into the division, or are they decided to go somewhere else?
I spoke to Johnny Miles at Carrick Latrobe on Saturday.
Yep.
He had registered and going to drive Dennis Davidson's car, I believe, till he sold it. But then he mentioned something about running a late model, so I'm not really sure.
Yep.
Nathaniel, I'm not sure what his intentions are. I don't. Yeah, sort of like I say, I've done a bit of a ring around, but I can't get answers out of anyone. So,
no.
So, if someone's looking to get into Tassie Sixes, what would be the best advice for them? Because obviously there's people watching this thing and, okay, maybe that could be a division I could have some success in, and it's affordable.
Yeah, that's right, Rocky. It is. The division itself is sort of real competitive the way it is. It's like on any given night, any 6 people could win, 7 people, 8 people could win a feature race. There's no doubt about that. Like most of the machinery is pretty well, on par with one another. Like, we don't run no restrictor plates or anything like that. She's just wide open throttle. Like, you can basically do anything to your engine as long as you don't stroke your motor and run run anything bigger than the 350 Holland. Yep. But to get yourself a good package now, you somewhere nearabouts. Like Dennis Davidson's got his car for sale for, 13 or 14 grand, I believe, and that'd be a good car. Like that's got some really good stuff. Matt Higgins has also got a good one for sale as well. That'd be a really good car for someone to get into. I know it sounds expensive, but they are, the money's already been spent for them. Like, and it's all you got to do is just park your bum, get in and go racing, really. And Matt and Dennis, have all got the good gear in all their cars.
Yep.
you know. And I'm sure the guys and girls around just come up and talk to them. They'll soon steer you in the right direction.
And the state title, Dion, where's that this year?
That's at Carrick Speedway this year.
Yep.
Yeah. So it should be good. It's a nice little bull ring track. It's a really good track. So we had 10 cars for that. I think we had last time was there we had 12 or 15 cars at Carrick, I think. And that was a really good turnout. So see how we go. Like I say, we'll be right. We'll get the cars, I think. I believe so.
Yeah, no, cool, awesome as. And Tiffany, she'd be keen to get back out there and try and get that Tas one. She hasn't won it yet, has she? But she's so keen to get it.
Yeah, no, she's come close. The last time at Carrick, she led for 15 laps. She qualified in the outside pole. She led for 15 laps, and we thought, oh no. You know, I sort of, you know, thinking we're going to get this, we're going to pull it off, like. But the stoppage sort of buried us a little bit. Then everyone caught her, and then, but to finish third, she was happy with that. That first podium she's had for quite a few years, and you know, it's just great to see the team and everything come together and pull it off. Like she had a really good cracker of a night that night, and she's come close, and hopefully this year we'll sort of be we'll come close. Hopefully.
Personally, I reckon if it hadn't been for that stoppage, she would have been Tas one.
I do believe too. Yeah.
She was well in front, and occasionally they'd start to reel her in, and then it's like she got the second wind and she go again.
Yeah, the car goes really well at Carrick for some reason. We don't know why, but it's just sort of like just out of the box and it goes. Like, and like I say, like, and I believe if we didn't have had that stoppage, I agree, Rocky. I think we would have brought her home, like, to be quite honest. And she was just out on her own, and it was going all right. But anyway, these things happen. It's, you know, you always look on to the following year and see what we can do. Like I say, we went to Hobart and the following year, or La Trobe, I think it was, and you know, and the oil pickup fell off it. You know. Yeah, she's had
some bad luck over the time. I know. Like, yeah, she's hard on herself. She tries to do as hard, like, go as best she can, and if it's not to her best, she's quite hard on herself, isn't she, Dion?
Yeah. She gets down on herself a little bit, and sort of, if things don't go right after the first heat, second heat or final, we just leave her alone for 10 minutes, get her thoughts together, and it's sort of, it's disheartening sort of when you're going all right, and then, you know, and all of a sudden something happens. But hey, it's Speedway.
Yeah, she's definitely due. That's
the way it was like that when I raced. You know, 1 minute, you know, people would say, "Oh well, what's the point?" You know, I cross-registered my car back years ago as a limited saloon. You know, and I think I won 10 out of something. You know, 7 out of 10 feature races. Yep. People say, "Oh, what's the waste of time bringing my car here? You're going to win." But that's just a negative attitude. You know, like it's.
Yep.
You know, anything can happen on the night. You could have a punch, anything could happen, you know. And but yeah, no, we'll be right. Tiff, she's in that space now. Like I say, she can concentrate on the racing a lot more now without being sort of wrapped up doing the rep job and everybody annoying her and things like that. And I think that was the biggest problem. Like everyone, she thought she had sort of, you know, a lot to do, and she never had a lot of time to spend on the car. Like, you know, to make decisions on what she wants. So now we've given her that freedom, and I think we'll be right. She'll be really good now. I think we'll be somewhere thereabouts.
Awesome. That's great. All right, Dion. Well, thanks for joining us tonight on the show.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me,
we wish you all the best, and we'll get you back on later on in the year and talk a bit more about the big event coming up. And we hope it all goes well for you. And we'll see you at the track real soon, mate. Yeah,
cool. No worries at all. All right, see you guys.
Righto, next up tonight we've got special guest joining us, AMCA driver from Tasmania, Anthony Waggs. Welcome, Waggs.
How are you going, Jamie? Rocky, yeah. Good to be here.
Yeah,
great to have you, mate.
Been busy, mate?
Yeah, typical day. Just dodge along, not long home, so
cool.
A few odds and ends and settle in for this.
Excellent.
So just run us by, what is a typical day in the life of a down-to-earth AMCA superstar? Like, I know people drive around, people go, is that Anthony Wagg?
Yeah, no, it's a normal day like anyone else. Electrician by trade, so got a few guys, set them up in the morning, usually get a coffee, and then we've been down Petunia fish farm today, so doing a bit of work down there, and had some other guys just on a bit of a domestic reno, and all over the place at the moment. There's no shortage of work in our end.
Oh, that's a good thing. Definitely a good
Yeah,
thing.
can't complain.
Excellent. Rocky, where are we off to this week?
Mate, we are off to the deep south, the beautiful Derwent Valley. I love it down there. Thunder Valley, it gets called all sorts of names, but Auto Clean Hobart Speedway. It's not really in Hobart, it's closer to New Norfolk, but you know, you tell people that and they sort of, where is it? You know, we all know where it is. Yep. If you're not sure, Google Maps will take you there. What a cracking opening meeting they've got. They have 16 super sedans and no slouches in amongst. No. There's no sort of fillers. No. Great to see. And then in amongst that, they've got the junior sedans. There's 9 new stars, 11 top stars. Wow, they're racing sensational. Streeting numbers are down a bit.
Yeah,
round about 20 of them. It's just crazy. And then, of course, the wingless, 10 of them, their racing's been great. The big, bad, bruising bombers. And a dozen of them to start the season. Now, I wonder how many will finish the season. They're certainly not going to be in the same shape. No, I reckon a tangle is a shape, but that's not what we're after. And then, of course, 11 AMCAs last weekend. Yeah. Wow. You know,
big
what is going to happen this weekend? Thanks.
Well, I reckon someone will be back with a vengeance. We obviously, Adrian.
Is that you?
Well, yeah. Look, we had a solid night, but still not quite at the pointy end. But yes, obviously Bassie had a pretty unbelievable winning streak going in the features. Unbeaten last year, knocked off the first one this year, and then credit to Nick Taylor. He came out. He's put it on pole 2 weeks in a row. So the first 2 meets, he's I think he had flat tyre in the end at Carrick in the round 1, but he put it on pole again at Latrobe and drove away and finally broke Adrian's winning streak.
Now I feel like I've put the mockery on him because there on Saturday I was out having a cigarette, which are dirty things by the way. And Adrian walked past and I said to Adrian, you can't lose this year. And he said, why? I said, because I've got a few drinks on as a bet that you're going to go all season and not be beaten. And then what happens? He gets beaten.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. I mean, it was bound to happen, but credit to Nick. He's come into the division and straight to the front. You know, he can obviously drive. He's driven the street stocks before and pretty proven car that he's picked up. Yep. Ex-Matty Billette and then Chris Breen before that. So, pretty handy package he's got going on. So, yes, this week in Hobart, very curious. I'm hoping we've actually got a couple of late nominations, so we've got more than 11. We've got 13 now, so we might have split heats. So I might be on the bank to watch one of them, hopefully. So, it should be interesting.
So when you are on the bank, what do you look for when the other cars are out there?
Great question. Usually I don't get onto the bank a lot. Actually, I've seen 2 races in the first 2 meets, so we're usually down the pits. But you just go up, have a look at what the track's doing, seeing where the guys are running. You know, for myself, I usually have Rowan usually comes and crews for me, so we'll have a bit of a chat about where we're going to start in the heat, whether we're going to try and run the top, run the bottom, set it up for something in particular, or just go out there with a pretty open mind and see what the race brings. But I'd say we're just looking at it where the other guys are running and see who's moving through the pack and what they're doing.
Yep. So new car for you this season? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I sold up at the end of last season. Joel Piper's actually got that now. My old car, we went to Matt Higgins there for a little bit and then he sold it on. But we went down the road of getting a new chassis and starting a whole, every nut and bolt pretty well. We didn't have anything. We sold the whole thing and new engine, driveline. It's a good thing. We've got a little bit of working out to do with the first couple of meets just to, I suppose, find out how it works for us. But certainly it's got a lot of potential and hopefully I can knock off Adrian and Nick now and be at the front, because I tell you, for a year watching the back of the 14 or the 1, it's it gets tiring.
and Wags, we've got some talented drivers down here, haven't we? We're like us Tassie boys, we hold our own when we go to the mainland against the mainland fellas, don't we? We know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was and some people know, but there was a guy in Queensland, and he reckoned they had the top 10 drivers in the country, I think, up in Queensland. And I thought, well, we're no slouches. You got, and people that have come through AMCAs in the years as well. You got, Dewey Ryder, Danga Brooks, like they have so many feature wins and titles, and and we can certainly hold our own when we go to the mainland. And I think Adrian, he showed that a couple of years ago, moving up to, I think, fifth or sixth in the Aussie from a B main start. So we're no slouches down here, and certainly when they come down, they don't have it their own way. I know Timmy Reedy comes down a lot for the Tassie title, and he's managed to snag it once. But apart from that, we certainly had the wood over all of the mainland drivers when they come down.
Yep. And during the off season, speaking of the Reedies, there was a change of ownership for the division, wasn't there?
Yeah. So obviously Mick Reedy had the division for a number of years, and has decided to sell it on. So there's a group of 4. There's 2 of the Tassie guys, Garth Stevens and Rodney Bassett. They're 2 of the owners, and then you've got Brett Rowbottom and Russ Hardy up in New South Wales and Queensland there. So there's a group of 4 of them that own it now, and are certainly putting a bit of new life back into it, and with a few little twists. And it's certainly been well received, I suppose, throughout the AMCA community, that's for sure. So there's no one going backwards. I suppose we just keep going forwards.
Well, the good thing about all those 4 guys, I know them all, they're all very grounded, down to earth. And that's always got to be good in a class like the AMCA's. It's a financially friendly class once you're into it. The cost of buying the car is the biggest part. The running costs aren't as bad as many of the other divisions, are they?
No, and we have this discussion, multiple people, and I always say it's as expensive as you want to make it. If you want to spend the tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars and try and go and have the best of everything and travel the state and to put new toppers on and have shock package after shock package, you can, or you can just buy a pretty entry level car, 20 grand, and still be in the mix. And if you set your car up right, you should be able to mix it with the best of them, because it's a controlled tyre. It's a hard compound controlled tyre, and we've got a limited shocks. We don't have adjustable shocks, so we're governed by some pretty like you said, grounding rules that keep it budget friendly to a stance.
So with those tyres, just between you and I, what's your starting pressure down in Hobart?
It'd be between 8 and 20. So.
Nice. There you go, folks. You heard it here first. You got the scoop. Anywhere between 8 and 20.
Anywhere between 8 and 20. Pick a corner, and then you can have at it. But I mean, I could probably tell everyone, and it might not work for them, or it might do. But it's always nice to keep a few little cards close to your chest.
Because there's not a lot of adjustments you can do on them, is there? You got your shocks, your tyre pressures, and a couple of other things. There's not a lot, is there?
No, that's it. A few wheel spaces, put a bit of stagger in. Depends if you want to change your shock package for the track, or you just want to do tyre pressures, wheel spaces, anything like that. But it should come down to majority of the driver, we like to think, to keep everyone competitive. And it's shown and there's the two engine options. Most people are nowadays going for the 350 Chev. A lot of us run, I don't think anyone runs the Chev on methanol in Tassie. A lot of people on the mainland up north run it on methanol for a bit of cooling aspect, but we just run it on 98 unleaded. It's like your road car. You get it out of the shed, drive it around, put it back in the shed. That's it. And then there's obviously the 253, the old Holden, still very much competitive. Kyle Magorski's come out and he's been right in the mix. He went past me like I was standing still at Latrobe, and he's got that thing moving, and that's got the 253 in it still.
Knowing Kyle, he would have waved on the way past.
I think so. Yeah. We talked after. He said, "Did you see me wave?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." But no, it's good, and to think that it's not just Chev dominated, because they are a little bit more expensive outlay at the start, but you might not have to. I think Rodney is getting, don't hold me to it, 8 seasons out of his Chev, and they're also controlled. So they're a sealed engine. You can't do anything to them. It's a standard package you get with that. So you can bolt your carby on of your choice pretty well, and exhausts, and away you go. So it's good to see the 253 guys are still hanging in there and giving us a run.
Well, the funny thing about it, when I first heard about them bringing in the 350, I went, well, that's just not going to work because they're two totally different engines. But it really does work. The parity is there.
Yeah, we're like rev limited to $6,000 as well, with the chip. So $6,000 rev limiting, and you've still got the same tyre. Like, you've still got to get the power to the ground. You've got the hard compound tyre, so you're not, you don't have the luxury of bolting on soft tyres if you have, 50 more horsepower than the next guy and getting potentially the most out of it. You've still got the hard compound tyre to get it to the ground and get yourself moving forward. But Daniel Brooks, 253, and you can't even count the titles on 2 hands that he's won. In that, Rowan, he was one of the last 253s probably to win a Tassie title. Dewey was up there with the 253s. So they were certainly holding their own if you got them going right.
So the 350 Chev Wags, like if they are to be rebuilt, do you have to send them away, or can you rebuild them yourself and then just get them sealed? Or
no, so there's a guy in Melbourne, Geelong, I think, somewhere in, I'm not sure who that one is. There's a couple of certified engine sealers for AMCAs, and the other one's Russell Bondsy up in Queensland. If you do have a problem, just send it away and get them to sort it. We did look at getting someone down in the state. There was a couple of people that put their hands up and that, but nothing ever eventuated, and it might be something we'll revisit again, so we don't have to ship the engines around if we've got someone in the state. It's just a matter of getting no conflict of interest, because a lot of these people, they're racers themselves and in the division, and so that's about the only downfall. You have to send it away, but look, touch wood, they're pretty bulletproof. Like I said, Rocket's got umpteen years out of his, and my last one that I had in the other car, that was still going 6 years. So
that thing of Rockets, that just wears like a politician's tongue. Just never wears out.
No, and he's got a new car this year as well, so he's building himself a new car, and we had a little bet.
I know.
At the opener with AJ, myself and Rocket, we all had new cars, and it was $100 in the pot each, and whoever, we could get 9th, 10th, 11th, but whoever got the 9th, would take the money, and AJ came through and actually took second, and I was third, and I think Rocket, was coming up through the pack, but he got his fuel money for back down the highway, old AJ, in the bus.
I think the division's a lot closer this year from the 2 meetings that I've seen. It's not as far between first and last place now. They're all seem to be bunched up. And what I've noticed with AMCA blokes, if you're not on the pace, they'll be the first people over there to help you, to get you up on the pace. It's a great community, isn't it?
Yeah, there's not so much like a divide or anything with Secret Squirrel business. It's, hey, this isn't happening. I'm loose here. I'm tight here. What's going on? Can you, what shock are you running? And it's like, yeah, put a spacer here, or I'd be doing this, and but yeah, I feel like you're right, Jamie. You can throw a blanket over the top 10, and you could raffle a heat win this year, whereas last year, there was Adrian's been pretty dominant, and but I think we've all closed the gap a little bit, which is good. And yeah, I think there was, opening night at Carrick, 3 heat winners in 3 heats. So yeah, it's certainly, like you said, going to be a little bit of a closer season, and we're doing the rolling points this year as well, so everyone can see how close everyone is to kind of egg on that 5th and 6th battle, or the 1st and 2nd, or whatever it may be, 9th and 10th, because it just creates a bit of interest having the points in front of you.
It certainly does. And you mentioned a raffle. You guys had a fantastic raffle.
Yeah, we had a lot of support. Big shout out to Sam Tuck down there at Launceston Mower and Chainsaw Centre. As everyone's probably aware, he's a long-time supporter of Speedway, and certainly out there at Carrick Speedway and in the north here. So we approached him and worked out a nice little deal that helped the class, and didn't put Sam out of pocket. So everyone won in a sense, and the raffle went off, and it was good to see actually, a few people that give to the Speedway community pretty regularly actually took home the prizes. So Matt Crawford won the ride on after actually looking for one, because he's bought a new property, and Dennis Davidson, and then I put 3rd prize. I put it up the drive in my car at the Carrick Club Day to put a little bit of enticement into it, and Jesse Penny bought the last 19 tickets I think were left, and he's like, I'll take the lot. I was like, righto, and sure enough, one of those 19, he won the drive in my car. So but no, it was good. It was good support from the Speedway community, and we thank everyone that got on board, and we'll certainly repay the love where we can. Wingless have got theirs coming up over Christmas. I know Tassie 6 have their 40-lapper, I think, coming up. Stuff like that we'll give back where we can as well.
And Jesse Penny, I seen him on Saturday night, and I was talking to him about that raffle. He was walking around the pits with a smile on his face like a Cheshire cat, knowing that he was going to race your car.
Oh, I bet. Like, I don't know if I want to watch it go around or don't want to watch it on like Carrick Club Day. I gave the father-in-law a drive once at Club Day, and I was like, just go out and have some fun. He's like, I drive gravel roads all the time out the bush. I thought, righto. And he was going round and round in turn 1, doing donuts, looping it out before he got onto the back straight. So I don't know if I'll watch, but Jesse can obviously drive a car, so it's not going to be that bad. I think I'll just, watch it go around, and I'm sure it'll be fine.
He was grinning like a goat eating garlic about it, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He's pretty pumped.
He's not long to get his car out, I think. So he's got he's got it rebodied by the sound of it, and a bit of a motor freshen up. So we might see him back at Carrick on the 15th, maybe. I think he's not making it to Hobart, unfortunately, but 15th we should see Jesse back.
So how many cars have you got registered in the state this year?
We went through them the other day of if everyone nominates. Garth did send me an affiliation list tonight. I haven't opened it yet, but I'd say that if everyone nominated that was actually willing to race this year, probably 22.
Yep.
So and we've had the joke of if they only take 20, I don't think we've ever missed an A main because of numbers on just without a title being here or something. But we're saying, geez, we won't have a bad night if everyone nominates. We'll be sitting on the bank, watching the A main. So, but a good problem to have, a good car count. So this is what success brings, I suppose. And it's good to see the numbers are growing and people coming across from other divisions having a go in the Amcas.
And Tasmania's worked good like that, isn't it? Our divisions are not short of drivers. Like, apart from a couple, we've probably got some of the biggest fields in Australia when it comes to divisions. And it's great to see.
Yeah, like I think you touched on the straight stocks. You're saying their numbers are low at 20, 23. We're used to 40 and a B main on a low show. So I know, they're not getting that on the mainland. So yeah, it is a credit to Tassie that we get behind it each week and everyone fully commits to the season.
Well, a funny thing, it was a few years ago, and a bloke from Sydney, we were talking about street stocks, and he goes, well, how many are registered? And I think at that stage we had 70 registered, and he goes, oh, well, that's nothing. We've got nearly 100. I went, hang on, you've got 10 times our population.
Yeah.
You should have 70 times 10.
Yeah.
Where's your other 600?
Oh, absolutely.
And off he went.
Yeah, it gets like that sometimes. We've got good numbers, and Super Sedan's starting up this weekend. We sponsor the series down there, so I can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. And also some great news during the week, wasn't it? I think it was last week. The Cranes Speedway's got the Australian Super Sedan title next year again, and Carrick's got the Junior Sedan title in early January, which is great news for our state. We not very often we have a season when we haven't got an Australian title down here, which is great for us down here in Tassie, but it just shows that the number of cars to allow Australian titles to come down here, like, it's great. What else have we got? Any major changes to the AMCA class, Wags, that sort of no one knows about as yet?
No, so there's always the question of, can we go to adjustable shocks?
Yep.
Just a basic adjustable shock, because people are carrying, say, a set of shocks for this condition or a set of shocks for that condition, and you end up having 10, 12 shocks maybe, 4 in the car and 8 in the trailer waiting for spares, and different track conditions where so that's probably one of the biggest talking points is adjustable shocks, but maybe in time. Haven't heard anything. It comes around every year of at the Aussie title, questions get asked, can we go to adjustable shocks? So with the new consortium, they'll deal with that in due time, and if it comes in, it comes in. No, I mean, probably the scarcity of some of the HQ, because we still run a HQ WB front end, like steering parts, stub axles, third arms, and stuff like that. So we are looking at a manufacturer to replicate those parts, so we can buy new, rather than trudging through the paddock to get the spares off some holding to see and you ask them. So yeah, that's something that they've brought in, which is good, because they've recognised that I sheared off a stub axle at the Tas title on the rolling lap, actually, coming out in the feature and down the back straight, and the right hand wheel just went straight past me, and I'm like, who hasn't done the wheel nuts up? And you look at it, the wheel nuts are on and the stub axle had just sheared off. And Brendan Flynn actually said, oh, you'll be buying a new one of them on Monday. I said, well, you can't buy them.
Yeah.
You can't go out and buy a HQ stub axle. So, that took him by surprise, and I don't think people realise that some of these parts you can't buy new off the shelf anymore.
No.
Well, that was the thing. When the category came to Australia, it was born out of the IMCA contest in the States, and then adapted to Australian conditions. And there were several different groups proposing different things, but the Australian Motor Contest Association that got up. And at that stage, all those parts were plentiful, and you could go to a Holden dealer and buy that stuff. But now we're nearly, 30-odd years on from that.
Yeah, 95, I think. 95, did they come in?
Yeah.
So we're around 95, 96.
Yeah.
So I'm sure people have containers somewhere full of these bits. I know Rodney Bassett is a serial hoarder of all these Holden bits, and they've collected up well over the years at swap meets and literally out of the paddocks that they drive past. So, but no, it's good if we can buy it off the shelf and it's just new, then that's a better way to go.
And the worst thing is, if you do find something that's original, everyone wants a fortune for it, because they don't make them anymore. So that makes it even harder for you blokes, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you get on eBay or something, people are paying, I don't know, $350 for a pair of third arms, because they know that. Yeah, I see your reaction, Rocky, and how many?
I threw them out ages back.
I was going to say, they're the short ones.
They're the ones you make.
Yeah, so you look them up, and people are asking some silly money because you're exactly right, Jamie. They're not, you can't just get your hands on them anywhere these days. So, and a lot of people have a certain side. People might have. I seem to wreck a lot of right-hand fronts from being into the wall, or got plenty of left spares. But yeah, right-hand front stub axles. They're
We call that push, understeer.
absolutely, yeah. So
Free the car up, mate.
yeah. Don't put it in the wall.
That helps. It doesn't move.
Yeah, no, it's been there a couple of times. Hopefully not this one. This one can stay off the wall.
Yeah. So we've got a series this year for the AMCAs. Is there anything else big this year apart from the state title?
So we've got the double header is always a big one on Grand Prix weekend down at Latrobe. So we're on both nights of that, and we've got some prize money up for grabs there. The new owners have actually given $1,500 in prize money back to each state to use throughout the year at a meet of their choice. So we've chose the double header at Latrobe. It's a pretty big meet in general. So we've chose that one. Yeah, we've got the title at Carrick. That's March long weekend, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So Friday and Saturday. So then we'll have the Tassie Cup after that. But we've got the series running, courtesy of Sam and Launceston Mower and Chainsaw Centre, and then each week we've got a round sponsor that just contributes for the take home boards for the top 5, and also the first 253 home we've included this year, which died off in the last couple of years, but we've got that back now. So Kyle Bogorski's just keeps stacking them up. I tell him he's taking the first 2, and he might have as many first 253 boards as Adrian had last year for feature wins. So that's our series, and we've got 17 nights maybe. And so we've got a lot of races and a couple of double headers in there. We've got the Australia Day weekend. I think that's the Grand National in Hobart. That runs in alongside our Aussie title in Lismore. So I think Adrian Jones is going to do a bit of like the turkey chase last year, like a reverse grid, because it won't be for points because it's running against the Aussie title. So AJ wants to do something down there. So keep an eye out for what he's going to craft up, and there might be some inverted grids again and stuff like that.
There could be some binned cars on that night then.
It makes it for an interesting fastest to the rear, and that it makes it for an interesting race for the spectators. That's for sure, and it does make it pretty rough and tumble, maybe trying to come through the pack. So
entertaining, that's for sure.
Entertaining, yeah. It's all for the crowd.
Yeah, we're in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Speedway's all about.
Definitely so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any people that you'd like to thank, Anthony, before we call it a night?
Oh well, on an AMCA level, Garth. So I've become the rep this year for Tassie. So Garth's obviously moved into an ownership role and has had enough going on there. So he's trusted me to be the rep for the division. So Garth's helped me along. I called him earlier tonight. Just stuck doing the invoicing pretty well. I was like, oh, how's this all work? And so Garth's been a big help, and Rodney as well. Just they're always there at a phone call away if you need them. So, and obviously just Sam and the guys down at Launceston Mower and Chainsaw Centre for help out in the statewide series this year, coming on board, and we're all supporting the banners across the cars, and we've got the banners on the grid draws, and it's all over social media. So, you know, if you can support those guys, then go in and see them, and then, you know, give back, keep it in-house at the Speedway community. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. And but to you, Jamie, doing this is I think we had this discussion at Latrobe. It's a good initiative because, you know, I don't see anything like it around, whether I'm not looking in the right spots or anything, but, you know, it's always nice to hear what's going on in the world of Speedway, and especially Tassie. And, you know, you've obviously had Wade on last week.
Yep.
You know, and it's good to hear from some late model guys, and then obviously the Amcas guys. And I know if you've got obviously someone lined up for next week, potentially from another division or something. So yeah, no, it's good from you, Jamie, and obviously you, Rocky, on board. So well done.
Thanks, mate. We really appreciate
it's all
it.
Jamie. He's done all the heavy lifting.
Well, I didn't know exactly if you were on board, Rocky, but geez, I didn't want to leave you out. So
I've been wanting to do a podcast with Rocky for a couple of years now, but I just didn't know what to do, and I thought we needed it, you know, like, and we will improve it as we go, and eventually we're hoping to go live so we can involve the people at home more, and and we'll have some highlights up and things like that. But it'll get better as we go.
It's certainly. No, just to Rocky, did you look at the New Star nominations at all?
I had a quick squeeze through. There's a few names that popping up there.
Yeah, there's a 44.
Yeah,
that's the young fella. So
is that your young fella, Anthony?
Yeah. So Ryan's going to debut this weekend at Hobart in the Lancer, so he's pretty keen. So it's 43 and 44. So
and you reckon you were nervous when you watched the AMCA go round? How are you going to be when he's out there?
I know. Well, he had Carrick practice day, and he started getting a little bit quicker, and I didn't say it to him, but, you know, I was like, slow down, you know, just take your time. You don't say that. But yeah, he started to get, you know, a little bit of confidence. I thought, oh yeah, so no, it'll be a very eventful weekend, 2 cars in Hobart.
That'd be great. Are they the same colour, Wags, or are they completely different?
No, it's like same sponsors, colours. Well, Ryan's is white.
Yep.
I'm black, so it's kind of a yin yang, but yeah, same design, and yeah, same sponsors and that all over it. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. And I think there's 5 new drivers in the New Stars. So I said to him, for grid draws, you know, you're not going to be off the back because you might get a 5 and a 9. So yeah, certainly be interesting. But yeah, that's a little special moment this weekend for Hobart for Ryan's debut.
Oh, awesome, mate. We hope it all goes well for you. Like, nothing
Thank
better
you.
than
No
father
doubt. I'll see you
watching your
boys
son.
down there.
Yeah. Hopefully the weather stays off. I think it looks good now. It looked a bit dodgy earlier on in the week, but I think the map looks all right now for Saturday. So,
Okay. Yep.
So hopefully, fingers
that's
crossed.
because I got the crayons out, mate, and started redrawing over the top of it.
Before we go tonight, we have a bit of a thing to talk about, don't we, Rocky?
Here we go. Yeah.
The name Dirty Talk. Well, we had a bit of an interesting thing happen the other night, Rocky. Can you fill us in?
Well, I had somebody came up to me at the Speedway and said, you know, when I Googled Dirty Talk, I didn't get your podcast. I got something totally different that's probably not family friendly.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys should look at changing your name.
Yes.
And I went, oh, okay. I'll talk to Jamie.
I actually come home and Googled it and went, oh, we need to change the name. So this is what we've put together for everyone out there at home. That we're going to put a competition up. The prize will be a family pass to Cranes Combined Carrick Speedway on Boxing Day night. Big shout out to Scott Piper and Steve Jessett for handing out a pass for us to give away. Really appreciate it, and make sure you look up the page and support Carrick Speedway. They're a great track to go and watch racing at. So they're going to give us a family pass to give away. So what we want people to do at home is below in the comments, put what you think the show should be called. And then me and Rocky will go through the names and we will pick out a winner and announce it next week on the show. So
no pressure.
No pressure.
You didn't tell me I had to help.
No pressure at all. So yeah, just drop a name down in the comments, and we will have a look at all the names that are put up. Nothing bad, please. We need to make it so it's Speedway orientated, and we will announce the winner next week, and you will win yourself a family pass to Boxing Night at Cranes Combined Carrick Speedway, which I think's great. I reckon it's awesome. I love the talk. I love the name Dirty Talk. I really do. I will admit that, but we have to change it because we don't want any junior drivers Googling Dirty Talk or anyone else that is going to get easily offended and look up what we looked up. So we need to change the name. So please feel free to enter the competition. And like I said, we will announce the winner tomorrow, next week on next week's show. So anyway, fellas, thanks for joining us tonight, Wags. We hope the racing goes all well on the weekend, and we hope we get some racing in and the rain stays away. Because I hate the rain. I really do. We've got long enough without Speedway.
It's no fun.
No, it's not fun. And
I don't mind it on a Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday's good.
Because it just pre-waters the track, ready for track prep on Wednesday.
I seen a video last night of Brighton yesterday in the afternoon at the Brighton pub.
Yeah.
The actual car park was completely white with hail. I don't think I've ever seen that. Like, that's, yeah.
Yeah, no, AJ said it's been raining pretty hard down there today.
Yep.
And yeah, so hopefully it goes away and yeah, we can get a run in.
We need some fine weather because even if it rains leading up to it, it can cause issues at Hobart with the hill and the pits. And, you know, so we need a couple of days fine weather before Saturday, hopefully. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Oh yeah, just follow the Facebook comments of Is Racing Still On.
Yep. Please do that. All right, thanks, fellas. Thanks for joining us tonight, and don't forget to like the page. Get your entries in for the new name for the podcast, and we'll see everyone next week. Thanks, everyone, and see you on the weekend. And don't forget, Auto Clean Hobart Speedway this weekend. Gates open at 2, pit walks at 4:45, and racing starts at 6. So do yourself a favour and get out there and have a great night at the track. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you all soon.
Thanks, guys.